Hey, welcome to BreitWerks. What are we looking at today? 1972 ST replica. So we'll do a little bit more of this stuff a little later, but for right now, our job is just to do an annual service. So we've already done an inspection, and now we're gonna change the oil. And on this particular setup, the way it was built, you've got one drain plug, and it's a 72, which is my favorite year, two drain plugs, and then there is also a breather bottle. So you got three operations to get all the oil out of the engine, and then we put it back in the engine, but we do it in a different place than most people are familiar with. So we're gonna get on with it. We're gonna get the oil out of the motor, and then we'll refill it. But then we'll do a nice walk around because there are some really nice pieces on this car. It was built out in Oregon by, I think, Scott Longbala. I'm probably saying his name wrong. I apologize, Scott, but you really did a great job on this car. So we're taking care of it, and we're gonna get on with it. So we finished our undercarriage work, but I figured I'd walk you around, show you a couple of the keys on this little guy. Ooh, I'm gonna have to grab a clipper and trim that off. But beautiful motor, amazing exhaust system, car graphic from the muffler, heat exchanger. That's what that is. That's not a catalytic converter. See, the air pipe comes in here, comes out there. So definitely nice, easy to use heat exchangers. Also, it's got 930 brakes all the way around, which is kind of awesome. And it's a 72, so the oil tank is in the front of the rear fender as opposed to the back, right? So all of that stuff is very cool. The rear suspension, that's, you know, pretty standard stuff. Let's see, what has he got up here? Okay, so it's the Elephant Racing upgraded swing arms with the ability to adjust the ride height by, I think, a half an inch or something like that. And these are green, but I'm not sure if they're Bilsteins, only because there's no sticker on them. So it could be a very good hiding something underneath there. So we don't know exactly what that is. 915 transmission, shifts great. Then you get up here, and this is where all the really cool bits are. So one of the first things is you've got the through body sway bar, and these look like all Elephant Racing parts. So you've got the through body sway bar, which is a nice upgrade. Drop links on the tie rods here. The spacers are in the rack. I don't know if I can get it to where you can see them, but up in there, the rack's been spaced down. Definitely 930 turbo tie rods. And then besides the beautiful 930 brakes that you see in here, I don't know what torsion bars are in it, but when you come to the front, it's got the spherical bearings. All right, so there's none of that rubber stuff in here, all the spherical bearings. So my job's to keep it clean, so we gave it a coat of wax, and anything that was metal got bow shield on it. And then the other really cool item here, and I'm not sure why the choice was made, because these are the Elephant Racing oil lines, and they're finned for cooling, but only on one side, not on the other. So it could be because they were going for the old school look, right? There's no rocker panels on this car. Since they were going for the old school look, maybe the Elephant stuff just didn't look right. But also under here, you've got twin oil coolers, right? So we've got one on this side, and then if you look up, you can see that the oil lines come back over here, and you've got another oil cooler over here. So you have a tremendous amount of cooling capacity. I mean, this car was built to take on the track. The owner is definitely not afraid to do that. So if he takes it, that's not going to be any issue as far as engine cooling goes. But yeah, some very, very cool hardware, very cool parts on this. Short of the A-arm delete option that was on the owner's last car, the spherical bearings, I mean, that is just beautiful stuff. There you can see the spacer. Got a better angle there. But, yep, this is, oh, and this is kind of neat. So, you saw the MFI pump on the top of the car, and we'll go do the top side when we're done. But that MFI pump is really just feeding a fuel injection system. So when you come down here, that's not a fuel pump, right? In 72, you'd expect a fuel pump to be there. That's a fuel filter. So the fuel pump is elsewhere. I'm guessing it's up in the front. We haven't seen it yet. But you also have this really neat adjustable fuel pressure regulator that's kind of hidden up in there behind that axle. So fuel filter, I guess maybe next year, maybe the year after, we'll have to change that guy. But kind of neat that, you know, it's done so that everything's kind of hidden away. And when we get to the top side, you'll see the twin plug is actually a twin plug Dizzy. So it's not coil on plugs or anything like that. It's a twin plug Dizzy, which is kind of neat. So that's it for the underside of the car. Love those twin pipes. That is a really nice exhaust system. Just absolute gorgeous. Car graphic. We'll have to look into that because that is really beautiful. All right, we're gonna get on with it and get to the top side, finish up our service, and we will tune you in when we get back up there. All right, so we've gotten her all serviced up. I just wanted to walk you guys around this because somebody sent a request. Said, hey, do a longer video on this car. All right, so what's really cool about this car is this, the owner, he's probably checked every box Brock Yates said you have to check to be a car guy. So he had this thing built exactly how he wanted it. And it's kind of neat. But ST, so first thing you're probably looking at going, hey, where are the little chrome things? Well, little chrome things don't go there because there's big oil coolers back there. So take the chrome things out to feed the oil coolers. So even custom headlights. This car takes a belt and suspenders approach. It's got the rubber hold downs, but smartly, it's also got the original latch. So that's pretty awesome. All of the wiring's been updated, and then here's your oil lines that come through to feed that other side. Yeah, I mean, it's minimalist, but it's got all the right stuff. So fuel tank, he had a center fill fuel tank previously, and once you've dealt with a center fill fuel tank, you don't want one anymore. They kind of look cool, but yeah, they're not that cool. And then let's see, lightweight battery. So no batteries in the boxes in the corners. So you kind of move that weight back towards the middle a little bit more. So let's see, that's the front of the car. Oh, and before any of you internet experts make any comments, that particular patinaed badge is exactly what he wanted on the car. I think he saved that or something like that, but there's a story around the fact that that's an original patinaed badge. I love the BreitWerks around the windows, pop-out windows. It does have a roll bar. Hey, you know, roll bars. If you like it, you like it. The interior, it's got the clock delete. It's got the radio delete, and they actually took out the glove box to save a few grams. It's got the door pulls, right? This is what everybody goes crazy for. And I think, is that a Wevo? Yeah, it's a Wevo shifter. The whole center console delete thing. The seats, they're awesome once you get in them, but getting in and out of them, whew. But still very, very cool. And the back carpet, all that stuff's pretty normal stuff. But he did keep the cigarette lighter so he can charge his phone. But other than that, You know, this is a minimalist driving car. That's the whole point of it. So let's see what else we got back here. All right, so yeah, back here you have the hold downs. So I mean, that gets rid of a lot of crap that doesn't need to be there. As far as this motor goes, I took off the air filters, put one back on. Took off the air filters, check if they were clean, and then I checked the balance with my little air meter thing. Make sure the engine was running the way it's supposed to be running. But you'll notice there's an MFI pump, right? But it's not actually an MFI pump. It's a shell of an MFI pump. And then what it does is it feeds these high-tech modern fuel injectors. So you've got a high butterfly. They're not true ITBs, right? But you've got a high butterfly intake manifold. So this was the deal, right? Everybody loved this. If you looked at this from back here, it looks just like the IROC cars that they ran in the 70s, right? You've got the 12-cylinder Dizzy. But in addition to that, you've got crank sensors. You've got all kinds of stuff to make sure that this guy starts and runs exactly the way he's supposed to. So twin coils mounted on the back, twin CDI boxes mounted off to the side. And let's see, are they actually hooked up? They are, so it's actually using the CDI boxes. That's kind of cool. My guess, knowing who built it, there's a Motec box around here somewhere, probably under the driver's seat, that's handling all the brains. And then the thing that I really love about this car is it's a 72. And for those of you that know Porsches, you know what that means. For those of you that have no idea, basically what it means is that the oil fill is over here on the right-hand side. That was a 1 year only thing because idiots would fill it with gas, right? They're like, oh, it's a gas thing. No, it's not. That's an oil tank that sits down in here. So Porsche very quickly said, no, we're getting rid of that. In 73, they went right back to having to fill the oil in here with the filter console being off the side. So, you know, it's even got the correct filter console, part numbers down there. This is all real stuff, right? You look at the part numbers down here. So kind of really awesome, the attention to detail that Scott put into this. I'm in love with it. But yeah, kind of kills you. But this thing, so I love it and I hate it at the same time. It's a love-hate relationship because it is a gigantic pain in the butt, right? You look down in there and you go, ooh, look, it says oil. How could you stick a gas pump in there? But anyway, to get it out, it's very, very fiddly. And then you kind of get it out, and that's what a 72 oil dipstick looks like, in case you've never seen one. All right, very short. But getting it back into its hole perfectly takes just a little bit of fiddling. Otherwise, you can see it flops over to the side. So I'll deal with that when I'm done with you guys. The wheels, unbelievably awesome, just totally beautiful, right? Yeah, it's definitely, for someone who has had all kinds of cars, when he decided to have this one custom built, everything he wants, it's got everything that pretty much any Porsche air-cooled fanatic would want. You know, it's just awesome. He likes the driven GP1 oil. I am not a huge fan of it, but it certainly is not going to hurt anything. So if he asked for it, absolutely. You know, of course I checked it out on Bob's the Oil Guy before I agreed to put it in the car, but yeah. Hey, give me my ratchet back. Absolutely gorgeous. And if you don't love this, then you should probably go buy a Prius or a Taycan, that too, or one of those new electric Porsches that they keep threatening us with. All right, I'm gonna get on the ground and we'll actually start it up. Here's another little attention to detail, right? So this engine sound pad, that's the actual kind of, whatever that material would be called. It's probably asbestos back in the day. Now it's probably no longer asbestos, but just so cool. Absolutely awesome. pleasure to work on. But hopefully his next car that he decides is going to be another custom one. We build the motor as opposed to just servicing it. But we're going to get on with it. We'll get everything buttoned up, get her on the ground. We'll fire it off so y'all can hear how it sounds. Just absolutely unbelievably amazing. All right, let's get the business end. Let's see. Fuel pump's on. Yeah. Amazing how that starts, isn't it? Give her just a second here. Let her find her head, and then we'll gotta love that, right? Listen to that. Let's see if we can get you down here near the exhaust. Absolutely adorable. But yeah, everything is like stiff mounted, so you hear every single little mechanical thing going on. Transmission yells at you. Kind of awesome. Oh, one last little extra hit for you guys since she's warmed up now. Here we go. Fabuloso. Have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching, and check us out at BreitWerks.com.